Why would someone stay in a relationship that hurts them? It doesn't make sense, right? If someone is being treated badly, if they're constantly unhappy, why not just walk away? But here's the truth. Toxic relationships are not held together by logic. They're held together by something much deeper. And psychology has a lot to say about it. From the outside, it's easy to judge. People say things like, just leave. You deserve better. Why are you still there? But what they don't see are the invisible psychological forces keeping someone emotionally attached. Because staying in a toxic relationship is rarely about weakness. It's about how the brain processes attachment, hope, and emotional survival. The illusion of change. One of the strongest reasons people stay is the belief that things will get better. Toxic relationships often follow a cycle: conflict, pain, distance, and then suddenly, affection, apologies, promises, moments of connection. And those moments feel real. The brain holds on to them. It creates a powerful thought. Maybe this time it will be different. This is what psychology calls intermittent reinforcement. And it's one of the most addictive emotional patterns that exist. Emotional investment. The more time and energy someone invests in a relationship, the harder it becomes to leave. Think about it. Months, years, memories, effort. Walking away doesn't just mean ending the relationship. It feels like losing everything that was built. Psychologically, this is known as the sunk cost effect. The mind resists letting go because it doesn't want all that emotional investment to feel wasted. The need for emotional attachment. Humans are wired for connection. We don't just form relationships. We form emotional bonds. Even in toxic situations, that bond doesn't disappear. In fact, intense emotional experiences, both positive and negative, can make the bond even stronger. This is sometimes referred to as trauma bonding, where pain and affection become intertwined. And the result? Leaving doesn't just feel difficult. It feels like emotional withdrawal. If you've ever looked at a situation like this and thought, why doesn't she just leave? Now you're starting to see how complex it really is. If you're interested in understanding the deeper psychology behind relationships and human behavior, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Her Mind Code, because sometimes the hardest things to understand are the ones happening inside the mind. And I want to ask you, do you think people stay because of love or because of attachment? Let me know in the comments. The desire to fix the other person. Another powerful factor is the belief that the other person can change. Many people in toxic relationships take on the role of the fixer. They think, if I understand him more, if I love him better, if I try harder, then things will improve. But this creates a dangerous dynamic because the responsibility shifts. Instead of the toxic behavior being the problem, I think becomes their job to fix it. Fear of starting over. Leaving a relationship means facing the unknown, and the unknown is uncomfortable. Questions start to appear. What if I don't find someone else? What if I made the wrong decision? What if it gets worse? Even if the current situation is painful, it's familiar. And psychologically, people often choose familiar pain over unfamiliar uncertainty. Loss of self-worth. Over time, toxic relationships can slowly affect self-esteem, criticism, emotional distance, inconsistency. These things can make someone start to question their own value. And when self-worth decreases, so does the belief that they deserve better, which makes leaving even harder. So, when someone stays in a toxic relationship, it's not as simple as it looks. It's not just about love. It's about emotional conditioning, psychological attachment, fear, hope, and deeply rooted mental patterns. Understanding this doesn't justify toxic behavior, but it helps explain why leaving can be so difficult, because sometimes the strongest chains aren't physical, they're psychological.